I did tell you that we are going to be talking about hoods this morning, and it's going to be hoods in Port Harcourt. Now, let me start by saying that I have spent some time in many of the hoods, many of the neighboring areas, in Port Harcourt Central. But like, see now, Iwafe, I think I spent a night or two there. But apart from Obigbo, right, and I would say Ahoda, right? I've visited almost every other area. Part of it, you've driven through, stay through. There's a road that can take you straight. Some people don't know. Take you from the airport through some of the village in Eche to Owerri, right? Yeah, so I've done some of those things. Spent some time in some of these places. Now, but as a Port Harcourt person, growing up in the Lekai Housing Estate with family, Rumumasi, Transamadi, all GRA and also all the Kaduna Street, Jumbo Street, where you have the state's radio station, to the cemetery, to the former UPTH. Some of you don't know that this UPTH you're seeing here, it's the permanent site. It used to be situated in Old Port Harcourt town. Now, there are certain things. Every neighborhood, right, is known for something. And this happens all over the world. Every neighborhood is known for something. Now, in the mid-90s, right, mid-90s. I was in primary school there now. Yeah, mid-90s, into the early 2000s, right? One of the most sought-after places to live and do business in this Port Harcourt was not GRA Phase 2. It was Diobu. Let me say that again. It was Diobu. You see, back in those days, there used to be a very small road from Waja. That's those of you who live where Elekaya is right now, before the bridges and the roundabouts and the flyover that you use. But those days, there used to be a small, tiny bridge. We used to call it Waja Bridge those days, right? You take Waja Bridge, turn right, right? It will take you to Ogbunabali, all right? And then when you stop at the junction of Ogbunabali, when you just cross over, you were basically in one of the most prized real estate location in the entire River State. And I'll tell you why. You see, apart from Old Port Harcourt town that you can clearly see till today, right? It's mapping, it's town planning, it's road network, and it's it's siting of certain infrastructure like hospitals, radio stations, and even abattoirs and marketplaces. It was very strategic, talking about the way Old Port Harcourt town was planned, right? You found that in D-Line. Forget what you know about GRA Phase 2 now. Forget what you know about Woji Road, Tombia Extension. All those places, right, used to be bush. D-Line was the place a lot of people wanted to live and do business. And you can tell from the way the buildings are, the way the roads are interconnected, the exit, but there's so many exit points and entry points in and around Diobu. And then one particular thing made Diobu stand out. You see, back then, it's still there, or at least the carcass that is, talking about the building, the office, the head office of the Nigerian Telecommunications Network, also known as NITEL, or formerly known as NITEL. Those huge masts, it was like the beacon, right, for anybody within the Rivers region, within Niger Delta, to come and do business. We used to go there to buy recharge cards, right, to make phone calls. We used to buy cards to make phone calls. And then, if you wanted telephone lines, those days when you had to have a landline, those days, for those of you all know, Port Harcourt was 084. I'm giving you a bit of history. You see, in those days, all right, if you said you lived or you worked near Diobu, you were officially the biggest boy in town. Almost everybody, almost every uncle, almost every neighbor I knew had an office. Still today, if you drive through D-Line, you will see that there's a mismatch, right, of several businesses, usually oil servicing, fire services, oil installation, electrical supplies, you name it, food, everything was in D-Line. Everybody wanted an office space in D-Line. But today, it is a totally different schedule. It's a totally different fascia that D-Line is wearing. Now, just about last week, right, the Jobu Vigilante rep said, hey, look, please, when you guys are going for your Christmas holiday, don't carry your phone as a measure of security. I wasn't particularly comfortable with that notion. Why won't I carry my phone? What if I need to send a message to somebody? What someone is trying to reach me? I'm replying messages. But then it is the reality that people in Jobu are facing. Jobu spread extends all the way to my one, right? Where you have the market, right? So from my one, you come into Jobu. From Jobu, you can get into my 3. They're all back access. Jobu used to be the economic hub of River State. Yes, Transamadi was the manufacturing area. People used to go, you have your factory, but you do your business to have your offices. You had to be in Jobu. But here we are now, and these are the kind of comments. To make this even more worrisome, just a few days after the warning was given, they caught an armed robber. Oh, sorry, a car snatcher, whatever you want to call them. This is the excerpt from that. Let's listen to this.
Go carry a drug of Blanca. On carry and say we go my one clinic. See we get agreement. Say person dey inside the motor go buy the motor for this business. One carry and come carry us reach here. As we reach that process to point and go come they get argument. So we know if you come involve come arrest us.
They were arrested. I know a young fine gentleman about 2 years ago who was shot in Jobu. His car was targeted by a similar style armed robbery, car snatching. He was shot in Jobu. Car snatching became a big problem in River State, particularly in Jobu 2 years ago. Christmas Day attacks and New Year Day attacks, Jobu. New Year Day attacks, Jobu. Easter Day celebration attacks, Jobu. Why? What exactly has happened to that area? Which brings us to the question. We're going to go on the break. Please do indulge me. Forgive me. I usually don't take too long when I'm introducing our conversations. But this is very, very important for us as we are facing the last day of the year. And then some of you probably will not care. But it's imperative that we pay very close attention to our neighborhoods. My question is this. Why is crime prevalent in some areas in Port Harcourt? What exactly has happened to Jobu? I'm not saying there were no robbers. Our house was burgled several times when we were in the Lekaya housing estate. Rumomasi did the same thing. Woji as well. There's crime everywhere. But what exactly is the issue that will make Jobu worse than these other places? Or will make parts of Old Port Harcourt town worse than these other places? Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, I will open the phone lines for all of you to come and talk. Because whether you like it or not, Jobu is an integral part of Port Harcourt.
Stay with us.
0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. At Nigeriainfo, PH at Nigeriainfo. PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo. PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. WhatsApp and Telegram. The number is 080809030641608030 0809-030-6416. As always, please do well. Turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. If you didn't see or hear, please make no mention of it. And very importantly, please keep your conversations civil.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Hello, Port Harcourt, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
All right, straight up to WhatsApp. This one says, Jude, good morning. I can't believe that place you just described is the place where I'm so afraid to drive through these days. For real, that Diob was one of the places where a lot of people like to go to and chill and even have businesses. It's a far cry. And the reason is very simple. There are so many gangs in and around Diob. Most of the problems that you have in Port Harcourt usually have their people hiding in these places. The government should look into securing Diob and making it this place that you described before. That's from Michael. All right, Michael. All right, thank you very much, Michael. Okay, I see that says, Jude, again, how did you get Dime by Jean Carlos? Ooh, I have an eclectic ear. Yes, I do indeed. Yeah. Oh, you don't worry, you have a lot more coming today. A lot more coming. But let's get to the telephones now, shall we? 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0007. All right, that's where you can get to us and talk to us, and let's get to hear your views as to how once lush, lovely, highly sought after the rent those days in Diobo, right? I remember seeing the receipt of rent my dad paid for us back then. The rent then was about 65,000 naira. That was rent for a 3-bedroom flat, right? In Diobo that time, somebody was paying about 100,000 naira. That's how sought after Diobo was. I don't know what it is these days. All right, now this one here reads, Jude, Jude, speaking so passionate about the hood. Come and let me compose my thoughts. Chiagozi says, this one says, Jude, good morning. It's not just Diobo, even Woji, Jude. There was a time when a lot of people wanted to come to Woji and leave. But these days, you will hear one robbery or the other every other day or every other 2 days. The reason why people don't get to hear it because most people don't report. That's from Felix. Most people don't report. Zion is on the line from GRE. Zion, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Mr. Jude.
Good morning to you. Welcome. Compliments of the season.
Duke. We are taking that as a case study this morning. Those of us who have lived in Port Harcourt over 40, 30, 50 years ago,
wow,
we cannot do away with Duke as a whole.
I'll be small picking.
In fact, it's a call-up point. It's a call-up center. If you have nothing to do with Duke, you are not in Port Harcourt. You are not in Port Harcourt. A relative must be there. Something must take you to Duke before 7 days will fall to an end. Thank God for the expansion of the city now. Most of us have not been to Duke for the past 3, 4, 5 years.
Not surprising.
Wonderful. And we are still in this same Port Harcourt too. Number one is weak governance. Duke does not have a governance structure.
Really?
somebody, yes, as there is no mayor in Job.
Is there need for a mayor in Job?
Yes,
there's a mayor of Port Harcourt.
The structure of Job, see, Job is not just a name. It's not just a community. Job is a fraternity. Underline that word. Great men have come out from that Job. Powerful men have come out from that Job. Millionaires have come out from that Job. So it's beyond just a community. It's beyond that. If we understand how communities operate, we should know that even Job alone should be a local government. Job alone, it should be a local government. Not attached to Port Harcourt City. No, it's a disservice to tell you that we don't understand. We lack the knowledge. Look at the poverty and unemployment rate in Job. Don't forget, Job is like a raped mother with a child, and her child also be raped. All the big men that have succeeded from Job, tell me one that went back to give back to Job. When you were poor, you are in Job. You are not angry. You are coming from Job. You are not angry. You are living there. Suddenly you blow. You left the environment.
But when I was wait, hold on, Zion. Before I get to the next call, when I was younger, Job was not the place for poor people. Oh, like I said, the streets were.
Job was characterized. Job was structured.
It was very well structured.
The upland, there are those that live at the townland. In fact, in Job, we don't know who is rich, who is poor. We all live accordingly. We are a community. 3, 5, 6, 7 are sleeping in one room. Some of them are not from that family. They just throw. But we are friends. We live together. We eat together. In fact, season like this, you don't want to travel out of Job. You want to stay there. You don't want to come back to come and tell you, hey, no. You want to see the beautiful light, the beautiful character, the movement of see until we go back and restructure Job. Now we have abandoned Job for jobless, unemployed people. We have abandoned Job for people to come and struggle. It's like a no man's land. Nobody can arrest anybody. Even the landlords in Job are afraid because tomorrow you go there, you mark your house, you demolish your house, you are not protecting them. That is why I always tell you that why Job is like this was poor governance or weak governance. So if we want to get Job right on our own as Rivers people, Port Harcourt people, can we give Job a structure? Look at the economical activities going on in Job there. Look at the lifestyle in Job. It's only in Job people can stay to daybreak outside and nothing will happen. Not until they brought in crime. So if we can structure Job like a local government or a municipal or something that a life can be restructured, that is only when we can get it right. The lives of Chupike and Meshi, the lives like Wike, the lives like Edis Yeye that grow up in Job, can you go back to Job and start empowering those boys? Can you go back to Job and give them the opportunities to be okay with themselves? You abandon them after you have achieved.
All right.
We'll never get it right.
Magnus, thank you very much, Zion. Magnus on the line. Magnus, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning. Welcome, please.
Very happy to hear your voice this last day of the year.
Welcome, and we wish you the same. Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Talking about the old Port Harcourt Township and the lifestyle and why people are, saying that place is very rough, no-go area, and even when you raise your kid, you don't want your kid to associate with anything Job. I think it's because of the activity there. If you watch right from time, that place has been packed with a lot of activities, people, different type of people, the educated, the non-educated, the so-called boroughs, and this and that. It makes the place so jam-packed, and so many things have been happening in that environment. And besides, the landlords have taken upon themselves not to develop their houses. It makes it as if it's a ghetto. So I wouldn't like to raise my child.
Okay.
Before, like you rightly say, it should be economic hub of the state, but development has come, and the economic hub has been shifted from that Jobu housing to other areas, and that's why you have the e-warfare. You now have the my 4 and GROA and the new GROAs that are springing up, and that is how it should be. The time that e-warfare we are talking of today would be place that it's an old town. Let's shift to another place. Let me go to Guri. Let me go to Ahoda, and some of that. So I think it matters about it's all about the lifestyle that people live around There are some streets in that zone we talk about today that from 7:30 o'clock, you'll be afraid to pass because of activities of the so-called bad boys. You see snatching of phones, snatching of bags, so much activity. In fact, there are some streets that police cannot even enter.
Wow.
You will call the police will tell you that they will not come. And they won't come. Because they know that what is there is bigger than them.
But Magnus, sorry, let me ask you before I get to the next caller. You see, you made mention that yes, development has come, it has spread, and that's what it should be. People should move around. But Magnus, in Lagos, Ikoyi is regarded as old money. Ikoyi has been there since. Ikoyi is still a prime area. Ikoyi is still that place, that neighborhood, that part of Lagos that a lot of people still want to get to be associated with. Why did River State, or what happened that led to the fact that to the point where people don't like to be associated with Diobu?
I think this question you're asking me lies in the hands of the government and the owners of those, the landlords. Like I said, the landlords have not taken upon themselves to develop their own property. If you go to Diobu, you see short houses everywhere. Does it mean that the land does not have money to upgrade their houses? And still you see high rent. So I think the government must take it upon itself in terms of security to provide adequate security within the environment. It's very not only to whatever involving in River State. And conclusively, Jude, as we move into 2025, I want to appeal to River State and residents that we should change our character, the way we behave in the state. It's very important that we should change and turn a new leaf so that this deal we are talking about today, people will move in and also develop the place. It is because of attitude of people living in that environment.
All right, Magnus, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I do have a smart day ahead.
You do, and I wish you the very best in the year ahead, 2025. So, WhatsApp 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. Jude, having been born, raised in an environment such as Surulere and Magodo, oh wow, there are some areas in Port Harcourt I dreaded when I first arrived here. Rumokoro, Rumola, my one areas of Port Harcourt were those places. But over time, I have adjusted to Rumokoro, Rumola, and even Garrison. I can pick a transit vehicle to those places. But you see that my one, Diobu, if we are not driving down to Diobu Town, Borokri, I am not going. I'll say that. Ooh, if there was ever an indictment on an area, this is it. This is it. I also spent time in Surulere. My mom spent time in Ajegule. It is worrying that someone would say they are afraid to drive to pass to take a bus or a keke, whatever, to my one Diobu. This is probably Claire's indictment. JJ is on the line from Rumik, but we have Muriel on the line from Okrika. JJ, good morning to you.
Yeah, Jude, you talked about Ikoyi, right? Most of the people that live in Ikoyi, they beat their chest and tell you I'm Ikoyi boy. True of us. Most of the people that grow up in Diob, they are even afraid or ashamed of telling their children that this is where I was brought up. True of us.
Wow.
It's a place that when your mother gave birth to you in that Diob, she's praying seriously that you should do and get out of that place. You understand? Now, what happened? The elite no longer live there. It now become an all-commerce affairs, and now criminals now rule supreme. I tell you a story. I was in one of the streets, I won't mention the name, to look for a guy. I saw a 10-year-old boy on that same street, that same area. Do you know Mr. Jude? He said no. I have searched everywhere. Nobody knows Mr. Jude in that street. Meanwhile, Mr. Jude is a very popular guy there. You know what happened? As I was turning to go back, that same small boy was the one running after me to tell me that Mr. Jude is calling me. Can you beat that? Because they know that they don't know me. let it not be that I am a maybe undercover security staff, and at the end of the day, they cash in 20 and Mr. Jude's house, and Mr. Jude is arrested. It means his parents' house or his parents may be in for it. Can you beat that?
Wow.
What is the rate of response from the security agencies when there is a crime in Job and when there is a crime in GRA?
Okay.
I'm asking you.
Okay. That's
so
another question.
The response rate is very low, hereby giving the criminals time to operate. Would you want to operate where there are criminal activity, where your mother is paying you, your send money not come, Jude, those boys that they around? We must rehabilitate everywhere. That's why we thank our governor when he said he's rehabilitating the whole Port Harcourt town. Maybe after that time, Geo will have the storm so that those criminal activities will go once and for all. Question, please.
Thank you very much, JJ. Muriel's on the line from Okrika. Muriel, Happy New Year to you. Good morning. Good morning.
I was born and bred in Kenya. And the memories from town to Diop and town to Diop look good. You cannot say, especially for guys, that you grew up in Port Harcourt and you did not go to Diop almost every day or town. These places are so priceless. And there's a reason why these places, if you notice those days, there were no fences or gates.
Yes, in Job, yes. Very few fences.
Yes, no fences, no gates, especially in town. But the structure in town is changing and it's painful so much. Whenever I go to town, I don't even like passing throughout the road. I go through the street, Victoria Street, I drive through Bend, and I just want to see. But they are really defacing town. Oh my God. Look, those days we grew up together, cousins, relations, all of us, we grew up together in a big, huge family. And I have sisters and friends that attend the student Aboro girls, Aboro girls school, and Agarashad, what they used to call it, and the sun snowing. Yes, and we go to Diop, we come back, it just like, it was fun. But do you know when Diop and town, the night, people started moving out, was during the Peter Odili time, sadly, when confusion came. When confusion came, Jude, I know I can count, it's bringing tears from my eyes, literally, the number of boys that died. Guys, in fact, they were speaking, literally in front of your mouth, till 1, 2. Just, I think the government was serene, but trust me, 9 lives died. Immediately that call flashes came. Town versus Diop, town versus Diop, town versus Diop. They were moving. That was when everything started crashing. People started moving out. And it's so sad. And if there could be a way, that the government can do anything to bring back those sweet memories life in Diop, and bring back 99. I think criminality and crime is reducing. If there's a way you can come back, trust me, so many persons relocate from town here to this room side, room all this time. So many persons left. But please, they should remember Diop town. Diop and town should be remembered for good. Thank you, Jim. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Muriel. Thank you very much. It's a bit of a history there, talking about the skirmishes, that we used to, and I grew up, let's be honest, I grew up in this part of the world where, you often hear, even back then, like, these streets boys, they're fighting against maybe some secondary school boys, they're coming out, this school, they insult one of our boys, one person slapped them, it never escalated to the point where, you would be, gunned down, right? But in the case of this Jobo town thing, I honestly had forgotten about it. But it did happen, ladies and gentlemen. It did happen. It did happen. It's a very sad, it's a very sad scenario. It really is. It really is. It's the last day of the year. And imagine what, security advice is being offered. Oh, if you live around that area, when you're going for your, your vigil mass or your crossover service, don't carry your phone. It ought not to be. But it is what it is, isn't it? 017-923-0002, 017-923-0003. I get back to WhatsApp now. 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. That question today: why is crime, higher in some parts of Port Harcourt? And we're using Diobu as a case study because it wasn't always the same. Or the case, rather. Good morning, Jude. I was born and bred in Diobu. To this effect, my mom was very strict because she was scared that we would all join a cult group. Hey, yeah. Can you imagine? Now I am grown. When I tell people I was born and I was bred in Diobu, they are like, how? You are this? How and why are you this calm? Diobu was indeed a place to live. That's from Emmanuel. All right. I'll see that says, do you know, Jude, when we went to pick up event flyers from a printing press in Diobu around 2 p.m., that's in the afternoon, I had to wait in the vehicle for my aunt to get the item. So I decided to engage myself on my tab. Jude, if you heard the way my auntie scolded me to drop the phone, she said those guys patrolling the streets will snatch it from me. Jude, that comment sent chills down my spine till date. 2 in the afternoon. You still weren't safe. 2 in the afternoon. It wasn't like this. And it shouldn't be like this. I think that's the real challenge here. It wasn't always like this. And it really shouldn't be like this. Yes, we know change comes. I saw someone's post that, look, where change is part of life and change can be painful. You suffer sometimes for change. And yes, in a sense, if we use the Diobu story, and indeed, the old Port Harcourt town story, we are suffering. And we must suffer to get it back. 92.3. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Turn off your radio set, please. Hello, good morning. Turn off your radio set or step away from the radio, please.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This is Warren calling from Shell.
Okay, good morning. You're still close to your radio, sir. Move away from the radio. Turn it off, please.
Okay.
Okay, please.
I must tell you that Dion is a very beautiful place. All my friends, I must tell you that my church is in Dion. I live a very far place from Dion. So there is one thing about Dion. Dion is very unique. Dion is very special. I must tell you that going from my house to church every day is there in Dion. If I want to buy things where I am staying, I go to Dion. If I want to do that, even today as we speak, I don't know how to do. The truth of the matter is just that people just decide to, though we have a very bad setup there, but then I must let you know that they know who is who. If you are very simple, when you tell them, just their girls don't catwalk, just their girls don't, and we have the most beautiful and talented girls there in Joe.
Okay.
So the thing there is just that people like, and I don't want to name names, we have great people that were brought up in Joe and they are still there. They moved to Eagle Island, they moved to Ajib Estate, they moved to Zealand, they moved to other places and made Joe a place as if they are good. So I want to let people know that Joe is good. Joe is good. Their roads are better. Their food. What you buy in other parts of Port Harcourt, 200 naira, go to Joe, you get that same quality, 100 naira. To be very honest.
Okay.
So Joe is good. Some people not so keen Joe like that. Though I don't think Joe. I believe somehow after George towards this is what I must let you know that Joe is good. Joe is good. Let us make it better. Let us make it better.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, we'd like to make it better. We really would like to make Diobu better. That's the aim, isn't it? Right? Now, another encounter was the day we drove. This is on WhatsApp, by the way. let me just wrap this up, was when we drove to Iloabichi to fix the tabletop gas cooker. When the technician finished with the repairs, my cousin brought out a wallet to make payment while standing outside the shop. Jude, come and see how the owner of the shop dragged her into the shop. I warned her never to try that next time. This was around 4 p.m. on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I don't think I can ever visit those places alone. Never. Wow. Well, it's not a demarket, but something really, really needs to be done. Right? It shouldn't be this unsafe within the city walls. It really shouldn't be this bad. People shouldn't have a bad reputation or a bad feeling about a place. And then, yes, we have to give props to some of the vigilante groups around that, as it were, stepped up to fill the gap in the community policing and in the security architecture. But there's still a long way to go, it would seem. My name is Jude. When we come back, we'll talk a bit about cars and then what you expect to happen or what you would like to happen, what you will see yourself doing in 2025. It's interesting, some things have happened in 2024, and I'll tell you about that later on. I'll be asking questions from about 11 o'clock. My name is Jude. Thank you once again, and Happy New Year in advance. How many hours? Okay. All right. That's